Most people think intelligence looks like cities at night. Lights, screens, towers, signals bouncing off satellites. That's what we've been taught to recognize as advanced. But strip all of that away for a second. No electricity, no machines, no metal, no code. Just a planet and minds evolving inside it. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Technology might not be a sign of intelligence at all. It might just be a workaround. From space, Earth doesn't look intelligent. It looks alive. Oceans breathing, clouds moving heat around like a nervous system, forests inhaling carbon, exhaling oxygen. No circuits, no wires, and yet it works. What if intelligence doesn't need tools because the environment is the tool? Humans are obsessed with building things outside our bodies. We make machines to remember for us, maps to orient us, clocks to manage time, screens to simulate connection. But that obsession might say less about how smart we are and more about what we lack. Because technology often shows up where biology hits a limit. We can't see in the dark, so we invent light. We can't breathe underwater, so we build tanks. We forget, so we write things down. Now, flip that perspective. What if an intelligence never hit those limits? What if it evolved in a world where memory didn't fade, where navigation was instinct, where communication didn't need symbols because the planet itself carried the signal? That kind of intelligence wouldn't need technology. It would be technology. Look at life on Earth. Octopuses solve puzzles without ever building tools. Ant colonies manage logistics that would give human engineers a headache. Fungi communicate underground across miles, redistributing nutrients like a biological internet. No servers, no blueprints, no meetings, just coordination. Scientists still don't fully understand how some of these systems work, which is wild considering they're right under our feet. Take slime molds. No brain, no neurons, no centralized control. And yet, they can find the shortest path through a maze. They optimize routes better than some human-designed networks. That's intelligence without hardware, without software, without intent as we define it. So what exactly are we measuring when we say something is advanced? Is it problem solving, adaptability, longevity? Because by those metrics, humanity is kind of shaky. Our tech is powerful, sure, but it's fragile. One solar flare, one grid failure, one supply chain collapse, and suddenly the advanced species can't heat food or find directions. Meanwhile, forests have been running non-stop for hundreds of millions of years. No updates required. If intelligence is about surviving and thriving across time, then maybe technology isn't the goal. Maybe it's a detour. Now imagine an intelligence that never tried to dominate its environment. An intelligence that didn't extract, reshape, or rebuild the planet because it didn't need to. Instead of changing the world, it adapted into it. Its memory stored in migration patterns, its knowledge encoded in behavior, its communication embedded in rhythm, chemistry, and motion. That intelligence wouldn't leave ruins, it wouldn't launch satellites, it wouldn't broadcast itself. From our perspective, it might look primitive, or worse, invisible. This raises a question scientists quietly struggle with. What if we've been measuring intelligence using human mistakes as the standard? What if building technology isn't proof of advancement, but proof of biological weakness? Because every machine replaces something we can't do naturally, and the more tech we stack up, the more dependent we become. That's not evolution in the classic sense, that's outsourcing. Now think bigger, planetary scale. Earth regulates its temperature through oceans and atmosphere. Life modifies the air to keep itself alive. Ecosystems self-correct after collapse. Some scientists call this the Gaia hypothesis. The idea that Earth behaves like a self-regulating organism, not conscious in a human way, but responsive, adaptive. If that's even partially true, then intelligence doesn't have to sit in a brain. It can emerge from systems, feedback loops, cycles, constraints. No tools required. Now imagine an intelligence that evolved inside such a system, not separate from it. It wouldn't invent technology because the environment already provides everything it needs. Energy flows naturally. Information moves through sound, vibration, chemistry. Memory exists in landscapes, not devices. That intelligence wouldn't ask, "How do we build?" It would ask, "How do we remain?" That's a very different mindset. Humans build upward. Advanced biological intelligence might spread outward, or inward, or nowhere at all. And here's the part that really messes with people. If intelligence doesn't need technology, then intelligence doesn't require visibility, which means we could share this planet with forms of advanced intelligence we don't recognize. Not aliens, not sci-fi stuff, real, biological, Earth-native intelligence. We already ignore most of it. We barely understand whale communication. We don't fully understand plant signaling. We're still confused by collective insect behavior. And those are just the ones we've noticed. What if the most advanced intelligence on Earth doesn't want to be noticed? Because visibility comes with risk, competition, exploitation, destruction. Technology shouts. Biological intelligence whispers. One leaves monuments, the other leaves balance. Think about it. Every advanced human civilization eventually collapses. Overuse, overreach, overconfidence. But ecosystems don't collapse the same way. They shift, they adapt, they recover. Maybe the smartest systems don't aim for growth, they aim for continuity. This flips the entire sci-fi narrative on its head. Maybe advanced intelligence doesn't look like starships. Maybe it looks like something that never needed to leave home. And this is where it gets uncomfortable. If intelligence doesn't need technology, then technological intelligence might not be the end stage. It might be a phase, a loud, unstable phase, one that either learns restraint or burns out. Which raises a question nobody likes asking. Are we early or already late? Because if the universe favors intelligence that blends in rather than dominates, then silence isn't emptiness, it's maturity. The scariest possibility isn't that we're alone, it's that advanced intelligence is everywhere and we don't qualify as worth talking to yet. Or worse, we already had the chance and didn't listen. Technology makes us feel powerful, but power isn't the same as intelligence. Control isn't the same as understanding, and speed isn't the same as wisdom. If intelligence can exist without tools, then the future of intelligence might not be mechanical. It might be biological again, or collective, or environmental. Something slower, quieter, harder to notice. Something that doesn't need to conquer the universe because it learned how to belong to one planet. So maybe the real question isn't, what if intelligence doesn't need technology to be advanced? Maybe the real question is, what happens to a technological species when it realizes that too late? Because the universe doesn't reward noise, it rewards stability. And intelligence that survives long enough eventually learns the difference.